Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Let's talk about it. So a while back, I did a video. And that video was specifically talking about these guys coming out soon. I believe we did this on a live. So it was one of the hangouts. We talked about the Turtles. We talked about the fact that they were coming out. We talked about the fact that there were some things about them that I did not like. Then we talked about the fact that I was probably going to skip them. But we also talked about the fact that if I seen them in the store, they weren't that much money, I would consider it. Well, these guys were about 12 bucks. They came out, they have some extra weapons, seems like decent detail, and the skin didn't seem to bother me the same way that it was bothering me when I saw it in the pictures. The effect doesn't seem nearly as horrid as I thought it was going to be. And because of that, I decided, let's go ahead and do it. It's not that much. It's all 4 turtles. I don't know how much further this line is going to go. This may literally be the only thing they do. I am seeing some things I don't like, but I got to get these guys open and I got to kind of dig in before I can determine any real facts behind them. Are they bad? Are they good? Is the stuff they come with make them... I don't know. Well, let's do this. Well, here they are. Okay? This is the front of the boxes right here. It's nothing more than what you would basically expect, to be fair. It has turtles up here, and it shows who it is: Leonardo, Donatello, Raphael, Michelangelo. Decent open windows, so if you were buying these, if you were inbox collectors, they're solid. They won't do you any problems. The side of the box for everybody is the same. It's the other 2 turtles, and it's got the entire display right here. And that was one of the big selling points for me, was obtaining the display. The fact that they come with the street, or with the rooftop, and I figured that was cool. I'll play around with it and see what I like. The back of the box is very much just a cross sell. It shows the ones that they're selling. It says that these are enhanced sculpt, detail, and deco, 13 points of articulation, aggressively styled signature weapons, and customizable battle base, which is hopefully pretty cool. And then the sides, each one of these specific turtles is shown with their new type of weapon. There's a bonus weapon and customizable display base. Classic 1988 styling, now with 13 points of articulation. Sorry, I didn't realize the camera was out of focus there. And that is pretty much what you can expect. But in order to really get into this, I gotta open up every single one of these, and I gotta figure out how I feel about them. And of course, because he's my favorite, I'm going to start here. All right. Leonardo falls over. There. Got him to stand. Not that much of a pain. Got him to stand. So, the skin issue that I had a real problem with before. I mean, it is still there, but I mean, the camera, because I'm looking at the screen right now, the camera makes it look worse than it really is, if you want the truth of it. This is not as bad as I thought it was. It's still not ideal, but then again, you could argue that smooth, I don't know, because the Super 7 kept them smooth and it didn't really cause any problems, so like, arguable. In terms of movement, we're looking at T-pose. Looks like that goes all the way out. This spins around. I mean, for what it's worth, you are looking at modern day articulation. Looks up, can't look down, spins full around, solid. Got the dual teeth here. Can you... Ooh, okay. That is a bit... That's... Okay, so like, I don't like that. That's basically how he would have to sidekick. Not in love with that. Yeah, it doesn't... Yeah, they went with a very weird... You see how that's bending? That's a very weird situation. That's like this, and I'm not... It doesn't pull out, is what I'm trying to show you. That is a very weird situation. It spins around. So it pulls out if you spin it. It's on like a... That's weird. That is really, really weird. Okay, and like, okay, so then like, he can do this. And then the flat feet. The flat feet is a real problem. If I have one complaint, the legs are a little weird, but nothing that I wouldn't be able to get used to. I'm sure if I messed around with it for a while, I would be fine, in all honesty. The feet, like, let's say that we want, like a, see, that. So here's the thing, okay? And I'm just going to say it flat out, okay? This is the way I feel. Today, modern articulation in any figure, okay? And you are claiming enhanced sculpt, detailed deco, 13 points articulation. You're basically trying to claim that this is modern articulation. You didn't say it right out, but you're basically claiming modern articulation. Modern articulation has to have an ankle that rocks. You have to have an ankle rock. If you don't have it, it is not even close to modern articulation. There are very, 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 very few figures that I can name on the just the normal market today, at even the $15 range, that don't have rocking ankles. It is surprising to me that they did this. Maybe the idea was they thought that it would break up the ankle on a naked foot and it would look weird, but Super 7 did it. And I know I'm called Super 7 twice, but like, that's the truth of the matter. The swords, he comes with swords, and they have the blue here, which is kind of nice for what it's worth. So they got the blue on the hilt. The new weapon is this crazy thing here. This is the new weapon. So in the remastered concept, that's what we're looking at. Let's see if we can't get that in his hand easily. Very easily it goes in his hand, and I'm assuming it's this kind of weapon, right? Maybe it goes like this, but I don't personally know. He does come with these, which, in all honesty, I've always felt that these pizza cutter things are basically like the just pointless weapons. He does come with 2 throwing stars, which the throwing stars, can he hold them? So his fingers will pinch them, but I'm having a lot of trouble. Like, they're more trouble than they're worth. The throwing stars, pointless, okay? Throwing stars are pointless. I'm just going to put that right here, right now. They are pointless. We have this antenna. So his roof comes with a window and an antenna, okay? And these are all parts that we can put on here, on the base. And I was curious, back when I first talked about these guys, that would they have something on the platform where their foot could be. They do not, which that I am legit surprised about, that they do not, but they do not. This is not it's simply not the way that it is. So, that being said, the antenna for the setup that we see on the box is right there. And this doesn't actually go on there. By the way, there's an old piece of pizza. It's kind of gross, but there it is. That supposedly just goes like that. It's literally just a piece. It's as cheap as it can possibly be. It just kind of goes there. You could argue that that means it could literally go anywhere and it leaves it 100% up to you because there's not a bunch of pegs. And if you don't have it, you also don't have to worry about there being something there. So if you want to set up like a fight scene or whatever and you want to use these, you don't have to worry about where this would have been. And you could probably, no, see, but this is still going to be there. And that's its own problem. So now there's always a peg thing there, whether you put the window or not. So you could argue that that didn't really matter one way or another. So there is some argument to be had here about it. Now the next turtle should be a little quicker because now we've gone over the actual movement and things like that. He does have the original belt, the shell and everything like that. For what it's worth, he looks fine. Like, he really does look fine. The feet are my biggest problem with him. And even that I can get over, actually. I can get over it. I just wish that wasn't the way that it was. But for right now, because I'm old and I don't care, that's the way that I want my turtle. My Leonardo needs to have swords. That's the way that I prefer it. So there's his swords. I could do a better pose, but for right now, all I care about is just getting him out of our way. I'll put the window there for right now and put the stuff over here, and we will check out the next guy. All right, Donatello. So, Donatello, same issues, same issues. He moves well and everything like that. He does fine. Feet are the only real problem that I have to keep pointing out because it is a legit problem. I heard a couple people crying about the teeth thing and that the turtles they weren't right in terms of the head sculpt. I think that's corrected because if I'm not mistaken, Mikey has teeth on the left, Don had teeth on the right. Leo was always Raph had the more open, like, angry mouth, and Leo, so I want to say those are corrected, but I did see a lot of people worried that the two heads had been swapped in the promotional image. I'm going to be honest with you, had they not fixed it, I still would not care. I get that these are remasters of the originals, so you could argue, hey, Bill, they should be what they claim to be. Okay, that's fine. I'll give you that, but I'll also say this. They're turtles. They pretty much all have the exact same body and same face. Why is it we are so concerned that the teeth changed position? Like, that is not our primary concern and should not be anywhere near our primary concern. Our real concern should have been that instead of paying the money to get this special mace bow weapon, which is cool, I guess. It's a mace bow. It's kind of cool. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not freaking out about it. It's fine. Bow staff. I'm sorry. I don't care. Look, you could say whatever you want. My Donatello is bow staff all day, every day, and I don't need the other weapons at all. Like, I absolutely don't need them. He comes with this piece here for his roof, and he also comes with this, like an air conditioning unit or something like that. And the same kind of idea. We could just put it there, and it can be there. It kind of goes like this or whatever, or it can go over here or wherever we want it to go. It can go, and it won't cause that big of an issue. Maybe we can even put it on top of that. No, we cannot. But there, it's fine. It's fine right where it is, and whatever we want to do with it is whatever we want to do with it. these bases, they kind of go together. So there's like these little peg things here. And so we can easily just kind of slide these into one another and keep them running across, and they kind of click up, and they'll end up forming something as we go, which will be fine. It'll be cool, and then we'll figure out what we actually want to do with all like the parts and whatnot. Once again, throwing stars, they're not a big deal to me, and these pizza stabby devices, not really a big deal to me, and I really don't care about these extra weapons. You could have kept the extra weapons and the pizza things and the throwing stars, and realistically, the only thing I personally needed for a remaster was give me weapons, make sure they're painted, turtles, modern articulation, rocking ankle, done. These would have been near perfect with a rocking ankle. I guess you could argue the legs are a little weird in the way that they move, but it's not something that like I feel is completely awful. Let's open RAF. So at this point, I've definitely made one major decision. These alternate weapons, I just don't care. Two hammers. I don't feel the Raphael from the two hammers. I don't. It does nothing for me. Like absolutely 100% absolutely nothing. It's not a me thing. Raph's face is done really well, actually. I like it quite a bit. So let's put this here. So there's that, because he comes with a ladder and a chimney, and he also comes with a pizza cutter and all that, the stars and whatnot. I don't care. Let's put the size in your hands. Same ability of movement as everybody else, which you should not be surprised. This is Playmates, so expect reuse. And then just like the other ones, these two, they just kind of click in to one another, and we got a long roof developing with chimneys and stuff. I don't have much else to say other than I noticed that I really like his face. I don't know if it's just the way it's done, the way it allows me to move it now, that I can get that angle to it or something like that. I don't know. And the size are good for what they are. I will say this. They move now, but like this is the range of movement that we're getting. All the way down, as up as it can go. So we're still not looking at any kind of modern day articulation. And the only thing I can say is that while these guys seem pretty cool, they're 100% Playmates toys. And maybe that's one of their strange factors that are going to work for them rather than against them. We'll talk about it. All right, now Mikey might be the only one whose extra weapon I care for. Because see, okay, I don't like hammers. I don't care. I don't know what I'm ever going to do with that. This is kind of brutal and neat, but like, I don't know. He can hold it here too, so I don't know. Maybe I could do something with that, to be fair. This is kind of cool, but it doesn't blow my mind or nothing like that, so I don't know what I'm actually going to do with that. These are legit sick. Like the sickles and everything, that's sick. That's pretty cool. Mike got a really good one. We do have chain nunchucks. As you can tell, I mean, they're not, you get what but look, for this scale and everything, that's good. And they look like they're going to be a lot more solid than the originals, that we'll definitely actually be able to put them in the belt if we want to. They will easily go in there. I mean, yeah, you had to push them down or whatnot, but what I'm saying is this you could get away with. So let's put these in his hands. There's that one. Here's this one. There we go. There. Let's see if we can't get... Can we get this kind of hold on it? Like if we... We can get that hold. That's pretty cool. The fact that we can actually pull this off that's kind of cool for this style and for this, you know, price and everything. That's solid. So we have like this satellite dish thing that we'll put here, and Mike comes with this part right here. Then of course the pizza cutter and the throwing stars that don't really do anything for us. And all of those clip in. And now we have one long roof, if that's the way we want it. Or you could also do what the box was showing, where each one of these will also clip in this way as well. And so you could have the two roofs kind of back like this. Personally, if you have the space, this is pretty cool. It's long. You can really set something up with this. If you play with it, I think that would work very well. And you can do things like this here can be here. You could put this kind of in front or whatever. So it kind of looks like that. So you can add features if you want the... Yeah. And then he could have the... So you could do a bunch of stuff with this. In terms of the extra weapons and whatnot, I'm probably going to throw them in a drawer, and I don't know if I'm going to be looking at them almost anytime soon, but there they are. The remastered TMNT original 80s toys. And what are my thoughts here? So I guess step one is to be real with ourselves here. This is a $50 buy-in. It's relatively $12 to $13 a turtle. It's about a $50 buy-in. There's only 4 figures. They seem easily available. I was able to find them very simply at Walmart. I've been to 2 different Walmarts and found them both times very easily. Usually they're on an end cap or some sort of special thing that's set up right now. And they're good for what it's worth. They're pretty much the original figures. I don't like the foot. But other than that, I don't think there's a lot to complain about here necessarily. There's a lot of extra crap we simply didn't need for what this was. Maybe they thought they were giving us something really cool with the roof. You could argue it's pretty cool. You could argue it works, that it is a pretty cool concept. The extra weapons don't really do anything for me. The throwing stars, what are you going to do with them? Realistically, they're very hard to get into the turtle's hands, and if you do get them into the hands, like, I'm not sure what like scenario you're setting up. These are toys. You buy them, let your kids play with them. You buy them for your kids. Both would be acceptable, and they technically, you could argue, get better toys than we had growing up. They're still very much the Ninja Turtles that we knew, but they are new. They do move better. They're durable enough to be played with. These are very blatantly toys. The roof is kind of a cool idea. Each roof is a little bit different. I noticed every single roof has like one slice of pizza, but it also has the green ooze splotches, and the green ooze splotches are a little bit different on each roof, but with a problem. It would have been cool to know how to link the roofs up if the green blotches would have been something that, like if the green blotch would have been on this side of one, and then on this side of one, and you would have been able to connect them, but it's not. So every time on every roof, there's just a weird cutoff where there's like a green blotch of ooziness or something, and then it just cuts, and then it's not on the other roof, And that kind of breaks the simulation of them all being together. Unless you just did want to put them all up and have them their own little roof set, that's a different argument altogether. You have that option. Options are good. I guess for its price, this is fine. It's fine. But it's not going to blow your mind. It's definitely not sitting at the range of some of the other figures that you can get that do almost the same idea, kind of like a back to basics. Definitely not a Super 7. It's not part of the Ultimates. I would argue that the black and white Walmart exclusive turtles that were around, I don't think they're exclusive anymore. I think you can literally buy them on Big Bad at this point. But the black and white, like, original turtles, like as original can be, they're literally black and white, like taken from the pages idea. Even those are basically a $50 drop, and I would argue are a better value overall. But then you don't get the roof and stuff like that, but then the roof is a gimmicky thing. I'll let you make your decision. Where I'm sitting, I think they're decent enough. I think they do what they said they were going to do, and I don't think I'm necessarily mad about anything one way or another. But I'm also not like falling over myself as to how great they are either. So you can see kind of where I'm coming from here. It's a very hit and miss type of thing. Cool, but like, how cool? I don't know. That's really kind of hard for me to determine at this point. If you want, in all honesty, I'd have to sit with them for a little while. I'd have to do a couple of photo shoots with them and see how they grow on me or don't grow on me. And that's the truth of the matter. That's all the insight I can give you with them. They're cool. They'll do what we need them to do. But I don't know 100%. Know what you're getting into, I guess, is one of my biggest things here. Know what you're getting into. And like with me, I mean, you've now sat through this whole video, I hope. And if you did, you have an idea of whether or not these are for you. You have my complaints. And you have the things that I specifically think are pretty cool. I do think they move better. I do think the colors are better than ours were. The skin thing doesn't actually bother me the way that I thought it was going to. The pictures definitely made it worse than what it is. And the camera actually makes it a lot worse than what it is when I'm sitting here looking at it from this angle. Like it's just not as bad as I thought it was going to be. So I guess we could call this hit and miss. But for the most part, I'm not dissatisfied. That's what I can say for right now, but I'll leave you to make your own decision. I'm going to get out of here. I have spoken. Take what you will from it.